Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Mike here. It's been a while since I posted a video on the new channel, but I figured I'll just talk to you guys today. Just talk about everything that's been going on. So the past week, right now, you can see, if you can see, let me scroll a little bit through this hangar here. You know, I'm in a build facility down in Torrance, California, and they build airplanes here. Okay. And so my goal this week, I've been here this entire week now, and I'm working on building my airplane, which you see the shell behind me. Okay, if you're new to Mike Ojo and you don't know who I am an entrepreneur. I'm also a pilot. I'm also a YouTuber. And if you follow me from Mojo Grip, you already know my story. So this video, I want to talk to you about just life and business. I said that this channel will be dedicated more to business and entrepreneurship, and mostly real estate, because that's what I have a passion for right now, and that's what I'm currently involved in also. But a lot of things happen in the background that I don't put on video, so I want to talk to you all a little bit about that. And part of it also is because I get questions. I get questions all the time. For example, people who want to start their own YouTube channel reach out to me and ask me questions on, you know, how I have been able to build a channel. Now, if you guys go to my other channel, Mojo Grip, it's fairly successful. It's nowhere near, honestly, where I want it to be, but it's considered successful. And that channel I started a few years ago. So in 1 year, I saw the channel just skyrocket, or maybe you saw the channel skyrocket, but the truth of the matter is a lot of work went into it in the background. And so if you follow me from Mojo Grip, I've been here in California now for a week, working on the airplane. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that also, because that's another question I get often. Is like, okay, why are you even doing this, right? Like, this whole building an airplane thing, why go this route? Why spend the money? Why spend the time? So for me, when I made the decision to build an airplane, it wasn't something I just said, okay, I got some money, so I'm gonna do this. No, I didn't even have all the money when I first started, and this is something that took years in thinking and in planning, and also took quite a few conversations, not just with my spouse, but with other people working with me on the project. So it's not something that just happened like that. When I think of what I'm doing right now, even with YouTube, you know, for me, my personality trait has always been to own the space that I'm in. And by that, I mean I am completely obsessive with anything that I'm doing, including building this plane. And so sometimes you find yourself, like, when you start on a project or a journey, whatever it is, you know, life happens, things happen, and sometimes we quit. Sometimes life throws us different path, and we lose focus on what we're doing. And for me, managing all of that is part of what I'm trying to do here. But the reason that I went this route is I've only got one life to live, right? You know, last week we heard of Kobe Bryant, who just crashed, worked all his life, you know, and all of the people involved in that crash. To me, situations like that only makes you realize just how fragile life can really be. And so my thing is, if you got something that you truly desire, like if flying is your thing, if it's anything that you desire, it may scare you, but you owe it to yourself to try it if you get the opportunity to do so. And that's the story behind this. I had an opportunity and I took it, and no regret so far. And with this plane, so the idea, you know, a lot of people who get into aviation, for example, or, you know, people who are able to afford to buy their own airplanes, you talk to pilots and you see that a lot of pilots and owners, they have their airplanes to go out to have fun. Some people are in retirement, so they enjoy just going on vacation with the plane and whatnot. And then you talk to some pilots who use the planes more to as a tool for their businesses or for whatever they're doing. So say for example, there are consultants who use a small aircraft that flies them to their meetings or their consultant gig. And so I think of my story as the same. You know, I mentioned real estate earlier. I'm serious about this real estate thing. And what I imagine is that this airplane will give me the tool to be able to go from city to city rather than staying in my local area if I want to invest in buying new properties or managing new properties or getting a good deal. So that's one of the things that I imagine using this airplane for. Now also, obviously, I've got YouTube that I started doing a few years ago. So, you know, making more videos, or rather traveling. As I said, I've been here a week, guys. I'm not based in California. I'm based 2,000 miles away in Georgia. And so there's been a lot of back and forth. Now, this plane you see behind me is probably not going to be the best vehicle to get me from Georgia to California, but when I travel to neighboring states like Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, even Wisconsin at Oshkosh, you know, a lot of those little pockets that's within 1,000 miles, this plane will come in handy. And I know how much I spend right now traveling commercial, not just in money, but most importantly in time. Right now, to fly commercial, I got to get up early. Like tomorrow, I'm picking a flight up, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. to catch my flight. And I have to get there 2 hours early, sit around, you know, it's just all of these things. And then you think of the recent scare of the outbreak in China, you know, those things, you're susceptible to them or vulnerable to them when you fly commercial. Now, I'm not saying flying commercial is bad, but this is how I see these things, and I feel the usefulness of having your own airplane. And so this airplane for me is going to be used as a tool, one, to make my life easier and make things that I want to do easier, but also obviously there's the fun part of it, there's the enjoyment part of it, part of flying that I'm looking forward to. But really I'm saying all of this because I want to encourage you as well to do what you want. You know, don't wait, just do what you want, what you truly desire, but also know that there's a lot of work that will go into it. You know, right now I'm without my family. I have a newborn, I have a wife that I would rather be with them right now, but I'm not. And that's part of the sacrifice that I'm willing to make. But obviously, if you have a partner that understands your drive and that understands where you're trying to go, then it makes life a lot easier than if you had a partner that, you know, either second guesses you or doesn't support your passion fully. So obviously I'm fortunate to have that, but understand that there's work. YouTube, I mentioned YouTube earlier, you know, I'm putting this video up on YouTube. You know, what you see on YouTube, all these 5-10 minute video clips, takes hours sometimes to shoot them. It takes money to make these videos. I'll give an example. So the average trip for me, so a lot of the videos that you see where I review an aircraft or I talk to a pilot, a lot of them I'm traveling outside of my state to go to these events, to go check out this plane, and on average I maybe spend $1,000 when I calculate my flight ticket, hotel, rent a car, all of that, and then I've got to eat. So if I said like last year, how much did I spend on traveling alone? Quite a bit, thousands of dollars spent on traveling. And what that equates to for you guys who are watching on YouTube is 5-10 minutes clip. Also, those 5-10 minutes clip could be an hour long. Really, the original file is maybe an hour long, but we reduce it to about 10 minutes because I understand people's attention span, and as much as I want to leave a video to run forever, I also understand that I got to keep it short. So all of these things you got to think about whenever you get into the YouTube game, but obviously the best thing to do is make videos that you would enjoy watching too, rather than just making any video and hoping that it's successful. And as much as I'm far away from family right now, one of the things that I've embraced about Los Angeles, the traffic. If you ever lived out here or you've been out here on business, you know that LA is notorious for its traffic, and I drive in that traffic every day. Okay, so right now I'm staying about 30 miles away from here, and I have to drive in each day, every single day. I'm driving in back and forth, and each drive is about an hour and a half. Okay, now what I've loved and embraced about that is I get to listen to podcasts or Audible and listen to books that I normally would not have time to read. And one of the podcasts I was listening to this morning was talking about, the middle class, and how recent stats have shown that the 1% of the population will now own more wealth than the entire middle class of America combined. Now, you may listen to that and get angry or you get mad, but understand that if you're playing at a certain level compared to other people or the wealthy or the more wealthy, then you want to learn whatever they're doing. But understand that it's work, and part of it also it's not to work necessarily harder but smarter, and that's part of also what I'm trying to do right now. But if you're trying to do YouTube, trying to do real estate, trying whatever, you're gonna have to work. You gotta work, you gotta put in the time and build some good relationships. I'll tell you right now, all of these things that I'm doing, all these projects that I have going on, obviously it's humanly impossible for me to take on all of them by myself. These are all result of building good relationships over the years, and I'm grateful for everyone in my circle, everyone that's involved in any of the projects that I'm working on. So that's another important thing I would say, is to build good relationships. Okay, so again, I wanted to just get in front of the camera and talk to you guys. Right now, what I've got going on is this plane. I got to finish it by the middle of the year. I've got my real estate project, which I'll update you guys on those also. The goal this year is to invest more. As you guys know, or some of you may know, I bought 2 properties last year, in the past year, and obviously I want to build on that portfolio, and I want to keep adding to that. And another thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe scale the Airbnb stuff. So if you are new to the channel, I kind of got my feet wet in Airbnb, and right now the income I see from that is about $500 a month. And so I'm thinking about maybe scaling that, but part of it is time. Right now this is the most important project I've got going on, and so if I can find the right people to help me manage all these things, then I'll take the green light on that. But for right now, I'm thinking about scaling Airbnb, but also build the portfolio on the rental properties. So I will make update videos for those in the future, so you guys stay tuned. I know right now my upload on the channel is a little sporadic. Again, I'm out of town, and this video, for example, I get home, I get to edit, and then you get to see it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or anything I can learn from you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.